Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at the 5 worst of Nazarick as requested by Saint Dustin in the Discord channel. Before we begin, I'd like to apologise for the delay in content. My laptop had to have multiple parts replaced including the GPU and worked for about 4 days in which I got the last video out. After that it stopped turning on again, resulting in it needing to be outright replaced. Fortunately this was all under warranty, otherwise it could have been very expensive. But now it has been replaced, so we should be fine, and thank you very much for all your patience and for sticking with me. Back to the 5 worst. This name refers to the 5 most disgusting and repulsive NPCs in Nazarick, with each member of this group being the worst for a specific category such as appearance and personality. One interesting thing about the 5 worst is that they do not exist in the Overlord web novel, so they made their first appearance in the light novels. So let's get into the first member of this group, and that is the most famous and adored of them all, Neuronist Painkiller. Neuronist is known to have the worst occupation, that occupation being that of a torturer. Torture would not have been allowed in Yggdrasil for obvious reasons, so it wasn't until the New World that she was able to finally fulfill her purpose. She is also not that offensively strong, which leads to the idea that she was mainly used for show or part of the role-playing fantasies rather than fulfilling any meaningful purposes back in Yggdrasil. Since moving to the New World, however, she has been a valuable asset in gathering information. Early on she tortured the surviving members of the Sunlight Scripture, and who can forget when the nobles who killed Zanuck were so happy to meet her. Her other responsibilities include area guardian of the underground portion of the 5th floor's frozen prison, and she even helped Entima to recover from her fight with Evileye. Neuronist also has labelled herself as a big sister and believes herself more beautiful than both Shalltear and Albedo. With a favourite food of brains and a karma of negative 425, it is not hard to see why Neuronist has secured her position among the 5 worst of Nazarick. Up next is the 30cm tall cockroach whose claim to fame is the worst residence, Kyouhukou. Kyouhukou resides in the Black Capsule on the 2nd floor. The Black Capsule is a room covered entirely in cockroaches and is a place where no light exists. The exact size of this space is unknown, but we do know it is far wider than 15 meters. The part of this residence that is so awful is the fact that cockroaches cause physical and mental harm to living creatures. Furthermore, the cockroaches crawl over each other and Kyouhukou can manipulate them like a tsunami in order to devour a victim. The cockroaches range from the size of victims' fingernail to over a meter long, with Kyouhukou being able to alter his own size thanks to his minimum class. In times where no food is available, the cockroaches will often self-cannibalize in order to survive. Furthermore, this residence is thought to be so terrible that 28 of the 41 supreme beings are scared of Kyoukou's mere existence, let alone the domain itself. Even Shalltear, who oversees the 2nd floor, greatly despises the Black Capsule. As for Kyouhukou himself, he likes to dress in a stately attire with a red cape, crown and scepter. He thinks of himself as a gentleman and is polite, open-minded and always willing to hear others out. When Hamsuke got lost on the 2nd floor, Kyouhukou even lent Hamsuke a cockroach to guide her back to the 6th floor. So all in all, despite his appearance and domain, Kyouhukou is a rather nice cockroach, and this is reflected in his karma rating of 10. He is also scared of Entima due to her habit of eating his cockroach family as a snack. Moving on to the members we haven't yet seen, we ironically have the worst appearance, Gashokukochuuou. Gashokukochuuou is a parasite-type insectoid creature and by implication is the most ghastly looking being in the tomb, even amongst some of the other less delicate on the eyes residents. Gashokukochuuou is also the area guardian of the large hole and now resides on the 6th floor. Fitting of his parasitic nature, he uses humans as his house and like Demiurge holds no remorse about using humans for his own means. After Foresight's failed raid on the Great Tomb in Season 3, Foresight's leader Hecaran and the half-elf Imina were taken to the large hole for Gashokukochuuou to live in. It is noted that since Light Novel 7, Hecaran and Imina have both gained weight, implying that Gashokukochuuou and his family currently live in them. It was after getting these new bodies that he moved to the 6th floor, and to celebrate he invited the other members of the 5 worst for a housewarming party. Like with Kyoukou's Black Capsule, Aura also hates visiting the large hole and will send Mare to deal with any business there in her place. From here we have the worst personality, Remedios Custodia.
Wait a second. It's an imposter! I was able to see past your facade!
From here we have the worst personality in Nazarick, and that title belongs to Chacmool. Chacmool is the creation of Temperance, the implied Chunibyo of the Supreme Beings. His profession is that of a musical instructor and is said to be a master musician. He commands a brigade of greater doppelgangers known as the Rich String Orchestra. These are the same doppelgangers that were sent to the Holy Kingdom during the Holy Kingdom arc. In terms of his personality, he is known for not following the rules, being quite unfriendly, and unexpectedly upfront. The last of these may be due to his race though. Chacmool will also prioritize his creator's orders over anyone else's, and Demiurge implies he views humans as either food or toys. As for his race, he is said to be a Chogner in the web novel. This name comes from the Cthulhu mythos derived by H.P. Lovecraft. In Lovecraft's work, the Chognathon are vampiric, elephant-like humanoid horrors, and we can only assume that Chacmool is similar in appearance. And finally, we have the Worst Ego, whose name is unknown, so clearly they think more of themselves than Maruyama thinks of them. So what do we know about them? Well, we know their species is a tentacle cage. We also know that they are said to have a gentle personality and are therefore more light than the worst personality. And that wraps up pretty much everything. So let me know your favourite of the 5 worst down below. If you enjoyed, a like and subscribe would be greatly appreciated as it really helps out the channel. Our Discord server is linked in the description, so please feel free to join that. And thank you ever so much to Q Mystic for the incredible thumbnails. Their channel will be linked in the description down below. With all that said, thank you very much for watching and I hope you had an awesome day.